Hello, in this video, I'll be teaching on how to draw trend line properly to physically reaffirm trend direction. You know, um, in forex trading or in any financial markets trading, knowing the trend direction is very, very important because the moment you fail at this phase, you will fail the entire process. And for you to be successful in forex markets, especially, knowing the direction of the trend is key to your success. So when you get the trend direction right, even when your execution is wrong, that is when you make mistake during your execution or during your entry, you will still be able to manage the trade. As in, when you get the trend direction right, where you are in the direction where you trade in the direction of the trend, even if your entry is wrong, if your execution is wrong, you will still be able to manage the trade and get out of it. But when you get the trend, when the trend direction is wrong, when you don't get the trend direction right, you have failed already, and there is no way you can make anything out of that particular trade. So for you to get this right, you need to first understand the structure of the market. So you need to first understand the structure of the market before you can draw a correct trend line. If you don't understand the structure of the market, of the instruments you want to trade, drawing a proper trend line might be difficult. So you need to understand, first of all, understand the structure of the market. So if you have not watched my video on market structure, for you to have the perfect understanding of what I'm about to teach now, you need to go and watch it. And you also need to watch the video on foundation of forex market analysis. So you need to watch those two videos, most especially the market structure, for you to have the perfect understanding of what I'm about to teach here. And again, you can subscribe to my channel so that you can get notification as soon as I upload the next educational video on forex trading. So now let's continue. How do you draw your trend line to reaffirm the direction of the market, whether the market is going up or is going down, for you to be able to know whether you are to sell or you are to buy? So now if you look at my screen now, you will see the price movement, of GBP USD, and don't forget, we have two types of market analysis. We have technical and fundamental. And under technical, we have price action. So what we're about to do now is price action. So you use trend line in price action analysis. So now, how do you draw your trend line properly? For you to draw your trend line to reaffirm the direction of the market after you have seen the structure of the market. And briefly, let me quickly take you to structure of the market. Through market structure, the summary. But if you want the details, go and watch the video. If you look at the beginning of the trend here from the left, you see this is lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So in the case of downtrend, when you have lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So for the downtrend, when you're able to join two lower highs, we'll say the trend has started. But when you are able to join the three together, then we'll say the trend has been confirmed. So for the uptrend now, when you have low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. So when you're able to join two together like this, we will say the trend have started. But when you're able to join three, then we'll say the trend has been confirmed. That the third one confirmed trend, while the first two begins a trend. The first two begins the trend, while the third one confirms the trend direction. So for the uptrend, you join two lows together to start a trend. The moment you're able to find two lower lows and join them together, then you have seen a trend direction. But when you're able to join the third lows or the third low, then we have trend confirmation. For the downtrend, when you're able to join two highs, we say the trend has started. When you're able to join the third one, then we say the trend is confirmed. That is how to draw the trend line. When you use market structure, it's not so clear. But when you now use trend line to join it together, then you can now see clearer the direction of the market. You can see the trend line is going down. That shows that the market is the market direction is down, is downtrend. So for you to physically know the direction of the market, that is when you make use of the trend line to join your highs and lows together. Okay, so now let's look at how we can properly join the trend line, because there is a way to join the trend line properly when you come to the chart. You don't just draw it anyhow. When you want to draw a trend line, you pick the wick of the candle, the highest wick of the candle, not the body. Some people pick the body, but I don't use the body. I use the wick of the candle, the top of the wick, like that. If I zoom in, you can see that I use the top of the wick. So I can adjust this one as well to use the top of the wick. I'll make sure I use the top of the wick. You don't use the body of the candle. Make sure you use the wick of the candle, so you can adjust your line properly to make sure you pick only the wick and not the body. So the moment you pick the body of the candle, you have violated that trend line. So like this one now, you can say this is a perfect trend line, okay, which shows the downtrend of the market using trend line. But now, how do you properly draw this? The moment the price has broken the trend line, that trend line is no more useful. So you need to adjust it. So assuming the market was at this point, the moment it breaks this, then that trend line is no more useful. So you pick the outermost candle or wick of the candle. That is how you draw your trend line. So you pick the highs, all the possible highs that you can pick, the wick of the possible highs in downtrend, like this now, 1. So I'm able to pick another one, 2. So with this trend line now, this has shown that we are in downtrend in this market. So this has shown us that we are in the downtrend in this market. This particular market is downtrend. So even if you use market structure, then you cannot use your trend line to reaffirm the direction of the market. So you can see now that it is obvious, even if you are wrong with your market structure that says this is lower highs, lower low, lower highs, lower low. With this two, it has shown that the market is in the downtrend. But if for you to now confirm you cannot use the trend line. So looking at the trend line physically, you can say that it's downtrend. So this has reaffirmed that this market is truly downtrend. Okay, so that is how to use your trend line. Then there are other trend line that you can draw. This one we have currently now is called the external trend. So you can also draw internal trend. You know, I'm drawing this trend line on the monthly, and you don't really trend on the monthly. You only use the monthly to know the direction of the market. Then your execution will be on the lower time frame. So how do you use this trend line, you know, to get your execution on the lower time frame? So you can pick as many that you can pick here. The external you can pick on the higher time frame. You can see that I'm able to pick another higher highs now on this monthly time frame, picking the week like that. You can see that I'm able to pick another two. That means the market is still downtrend, because sometimes on the higher time frame you might have an uptrend, but on the lower time frame you have a downtrend. Okay, so for you to be able to affirm that, you need to draw your trend line. Drawing a proper trend line is very, very important in market analysis. So if I go to lower time frame now, let me see if I can still draw another internal trend line. So I'm going to weekly now. So this is my weekly time frame now. So I can adjust the trend line to make sure it touches that. So this is my weekly now. So from here now, you can see the second line here of the external one. I can pick another highs that I could get there. Another set of highs. As I'm able to pick two now, 1, 2, that means there is another downtrend there. So I can continue on and on till I'm able to exhaust all those lines. So with this now, there is no other line that I could draw. So with this, I can see that I'm properly on the downtrend. And what we are having currently now is retracement. And if this current price now of the market is able to break this current trend line, if it's able to break this trend line now, then we'll say this particular trend line, this internal one, has been destroyed. So this is an external trend line. This is an internal trend line. This is another internal trend line. When an internal trend line is destroyed or broken, then it will go and meet the next external one. So that means this one will no more be useful. Like for example, now you can see that we have another one here that we can draw. But this one is already destroyed, this internal one. So we call all this internal trend line. So you can see that this internal trend line is already destroyed. So it's no more useful. There is no need putting it there again. So this is the one we need to focus on. So for you to know the proper trend direction of the market, so you need to draw your trend line. So if you're able to get it right at this level, then you won't have so much issue. But if you fail at this level, you're going to fail the entire process. I'm telling you. So you need to get the trend line, your trend line drawing. Drawing your trend line, you need to get it right at the beginning. So if you're able to get it right at the beginning, then the whole process will be simple. So this is how to properly draw your trend line. So the same thing for uptrend. You know, the one we are drawing right now is for downtrend. So if you want to draw for your uptrend, what do? You pick from the low, that is the higher low, to the higher high, higher low, higher low. If you're able to pick some lows together, at least two lows. If you're able to pick two lows, you have one here, you have 2 here, or let me use this. This is the last one. This is the most external. So you're able to pick 1, you're able to pick 2. So we say we have uptrend here. On the lower time frame, we are running an uptrend, but on the higher time frame, we are running a downtrend. So if you're able to pick 2, 1, 2, then you have a trend. Okay, so 2 start a trend, while the 3rd confirms the trend. Now, how do you properly draw a trend line? You pick the wick of the trend. I mean, the wick of the candle. The wick, not the body. If you pick the body like this, you are wrong. But you need to pick the wick. That's how to properly draw a trend line. So if you're able to know the trend direction, like for example, now if you want to trade on lower time frame, using 4 hours now, where I draw this trend line, you don't have business. Since your trend line has given you this, you don't have business selling. All you need to be, except there is a change of trend. If this trend line is broken now, then you can now begin to think of trading, looking for sell opportunity. But in as much as the trend line has not been broken, you have no business looking for a sell in this lower time frame. But if you go to the higher time frame, like the weekly, for example, you can see we have downtrend. So you have no business trying to buy, except when this line is destroyed. Like for example, now this one has been destroyed. You can be looking for a short buy here, but since if you look at this trend line, it's about to hit this trend line. That means, except unless it break this trend line now, the market might reverse from here. You understand? So that is why it's very, very important. You can see that is the reason why the price has been struggling in that place, because of the trend line. It's hitting the trend, not until it's able to break that trend line. That is when you can have an uptrend or a buy opportunity. But while it's still testing that trend line, there is nothing you can do, than to just wait and see what is going to happen. Okay, so, or if you want to look at this one, you might say, okay, it has broken this trend line, then it's coming to meet this one, because this is the current highs that we have here. It's just creating this new high. Here is the current one we have. So I think this should be the correct trend line. That means it has broken this trend line. So it's coming to this next internal trend line. So we might have an uptrend here. I mean, a buy opportunity here. But meanwhile, this is a retracement, a buy retracement. This is not the trend direction. We call this one counter trend trading. So if you are trading this, you are doing counter trend trading. You are trading against the trend. The real trend direction is downtrend. But if you want to trade counter trend, you want to trade against the direction, then you will know that you are trading against the trend. Then you need to lower your risk and all that, because that is not the trend direction. If you are not careful here, you lose more money while trading against the trend than trading towards the trend direction. So that is how to properly draw your trend line. And I'm going to summarize what I've said. I said, if you want to draw a trend line for a downtrend, you make sure you pick at least two highs. Okay, make sure you pick at least, let me go to the monthly. So for a downtrend, you make sure you pick at least 2 highs. That is lower high, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So you make sure you pick at least 2. If you're able to pick at least 2, then you say you have started a trend. Then the 3rd one confirms it. Then when you are drawing the trend line, to properly draw a trend line, you must pick the wick of the candle. All the wicks, not the body of the candle. You draw your trend line picking the wicks of the candles, not the body. I repeat, you pick the wick and not the body. That is how to properly draw your trend line. So thank you for watching this video.